So other than Mr. Vescovo and being here under oath today, giving this deposition, you've
Correct.
never talked with anybody?
Correct, except my father.
All right.
We stated that before.
Correct. All right, let's go back to what you remember now. As you're coming from the
Northbound and
from the Starbucks out there,
I went southbound, yes, sir.
would you agree with me that you can see a good ways coming up to that intersection? Okay, it's pretty wide open, isn't it?
If there's not a lot of traffic, which there was that day, yeah, it's a good flat area.
All right. But what I'm understanding you to say, as you were approaching that intersection, you were able to observe Miss Mayer in her tan Saturn pull into the intersection. Is that an accurate statement?
At maybe, well, it was so close, I really couldn't tell. I'm getting 6, 7 car lengths, maybe even more. To the very last, I saw her. Not from a quarter mile away, not from half a mile away. No, sir. I didn't see her. Plus, with as many people as on the road, why would you pay attention to one person? You know, it's one of those things where afterwards you can say, well, why didn't you pay more attention to her? Well, yeah, okay, I can see that now, but no, she was. She had stayed in the turn lane until we got close.
And you had observed this for some time prior to approaching the intersection? I'm not understanding you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can make
Okay.
it a little more simple.
Okay.
As you are traveling towards the intersection where the collision occurred, did you observe Miss Mayer pull her Saturn into the intersection?
That's when I saw her leave from the turn lane and get in mine and Matt's blocked of the southbound Germantown lane. Yes, that's when I observed her. I would think either she was coming northbound and she had just gotten in the turn lane, or she was waiting in the turn lane prior to getting in the middle. When she left from the turn lane to get into the southbound, that's when I noticed that she had made a move. I don't notice everybody. I notice when they're in my way, yes.
All right. So, is it yes or no? Did you observe her pull into the intersection?
Pull into the intersection, what do you mean? The turn lane or the southbound lanes?
Well, we're going to get to that. Where was she when you first saw her?
She would have to have been coming out of the turn lane, actually making her move onto the westbound, going westbound on whatever that street is.
All right. Now, can I call you Adam?
Of course.
Okay. Adam, I don't want you to guess. And like you said,
Okay.
there's some things that you just simply don't remember because
Okay.
this happened in a split second.
Right.
Do you recall where she was the first time that you observed her?
She would have had to have been.
Well, do
No,
you recall
okay.
that, yes or no?
She was in the middle lane, yes, sir. She was in the middle lane. That's when I can actually visually see that car, yes, sir.
All right. And then did you observe her pull over into the left turn lane?
No, sir.
All right. When was the next time you saw her?
After the middle lane of the southbound on Germantown, after the middle lane on southbound Germantown, saw her stop, saw Matt get over, saw her go, saw Matt swerve, and she go faster, and it hit right in between the two doors. That's what I remember. That's exactly what I remember.
All right. Did you observe her move from the middle lane into the turn lane?
From the middle lane into the turn lane?
No,
sir. No, sir.
All right.
No, that was, I'm meaning the middle lane, meaning the southbound middle lane. The lane that me and Matt were in. Not northbound. I don't remember what was going on at northbound at the slightest.
All right.
I don't remember anything about her turn lane or anything.
Okay. Did you ever observe her sitting still with her turn signal on,
No, sir.
waiting for traffic in front of you to pass through?
No, sir.
Did you observe any other vehicles in front of her that might have been turning left?
No, sir.
All right. When you first saw her, Adam, were you looking at the front of her vehicle?
I can't say. No, sir. I can't say that I can remember her facing me. All I remember is her being in my blocked.
So, okay, that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting to. So then what you're telling me that you remember clearly is the first time you saw her, you're looking at the side of her vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Correct. Or at least or at least more or less the first going into the second lane. Maybe her turning. I can't remember absolutely exactly her waiting there with her blinker on. I mean, yes and no. I mean, from a standpoint of view of guessing, yes.
And
but
that's
there's no
it.
guessing. Yes.
You know,
understand.
I don't.
understand.
All right. She'll have a hard time if we try to talk over one another. So I don't want you to guess. Okay, if you don't know something, just tell me. I don't remember. So if I understand you, then you don't recall if she was completely turned and you were looking at her side the first time you saw her.
She was completely turned. No.
All right. But you did observe her continue to turn through the intersection.
Right.
How fast were you going?
I was doing 45. I know for sure I was doing 45, actually.
How is that you know for sure?
Because I had gotten a ticket and my parents said something about not paying for my insurance anymore. I keep my speed under. I remember that day exactly. I was keeping my speed under 45. I was keeping the speed limit there is 50. I was keeping it 5 under. I do remember that exactly.
All right. And Matt Castellaw had come past you.
Yes, and I was doing 45, so he had all the right to, because that's the legal speed limit, 50. Yes, he passed me.
All right. And did he tell me which lane he was in as you observed Ms. Mayer continuing her turn?
I remember Matt being in the left-hand lane, the fast lane. I remember Matt being in the left-hand lane, getting over into the middle lane. I don't remember exactly him being in one lane. I remember him switching over when she started. That's what I remember. I remember him being halfway over the white line from the fast lane to the middle lane, and then when she went and paused in the middle, I remember him getting over it to the slow lane.
Well, let's talk about the lanes like this, okay? Mm-hmm. You've got the inside lane, okay? That's the one
which would be the fast lane, yes.
Closest to the turn.
Right, left-hand lane.
The middle lane,
and then right.
And then you've got the curb lane.
Okay.
Okay. So you're in the middle lane, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Matt comes around you and gets in the left lane, as you call it, the fast lane, correct?
Right.
All right. At that time, where was Miss Mayer's car in the intersection? Do you recall?
No, not when he was passing me, no.
All right. How far back were you from the intersection, approximately?
Oh, geez. When he was passing me, maybe half a mile.
So you were
maybe
back.
More.
You were back not too far away from the intersection of I-40.
Half a mile? No, I-40 is like a mile and a half.
Okay, is it that far back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so about a half a mile, he comes around you?
Maybe half a mile, yes. Maybe a little less.
All right. And then does he move back into the middle lane?
Correct.
So he's directly in front of you?
Correct.
And what kind of vehicle is he driving?
An Explorer.
All right. And how fast would you estimate he was going then?
Between 45 and 50.
All right. And
maybe 50 right on it.
Okay. But he was able to stay ahead of you?
He pulled ahead of me, and yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As you approach the intersection, I believe you're telling me that then you see Matt move from the middle lane to the curb lane.
Correct.
How far were you back from the intersection when he made that move?
I can't say for sure. I wasn't more than 5 or 6 car lengths.
All right. How many feet would that be?
Let's say 80 to 100 feet.
Back from the intersection.
Oh, from the intersection. I'm just talking from behind him. From the intersection? Oh, geez. At what point are you talking about? From him getting from the middle lane to the curb lane?
Yes, sir.
Oh, don't even get me guessing. Me or him?
Him.
Oh my gosh, I have no idea. I have no idea. It would be a terrible guess. It would be a guess, and that's not really what you're looking for.
All right. As you saw him move from the middle lane to the curb lane, had you observed Miss Mayer in the Saturn?
I had observed her, yes.
All right. And what was she doing at this time?
She had just got through turning. She was going westbound. Matt was in the middle lane. She had paused in the middle lane, what looked like she had paused, more or less slowed down or almost came to a stop, which is a terrible thing to do, especially on oncoming traffic. Then Matt got over swerved to avoid her. She started going again, and right at that last minute, Matt swerved over, and she went again. Like, in between the middle lane and where they made the impact, she was going slow, and then she went really fast. You know, like, to try to miss Matt.
But he was going the same direction she was, correct? He was moving from left to right, and she was moving from your left to right as well, correct?
No, Matt was going straight ahead. She was moving westbound. We were going
Right.
southbound. She was
He had moved from the fast lane.
I see what you're talking about. Left, right, yes.
As you saw her pull into the intersection, as you say, slow down or maybe come to a stop,
Mm-hmm.
are you looking at the side of her car?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Passengers.
How far away are you from the intersection?
Oh my goodness. Maybe between 150 and 200 feet.
All
Maybe
right.
more. I don't estimately, I don't know.
All right. When did you see Matt apply his brakes?
Some applies brakes when she got in the middle lane, of course, when he got over into the curb lane. He applied his brakes. That would be a guess, because I don't know.
Did you ever